No spoilers, Sydney, because it's been almost over a month since you and I last sat down.
I know. And can I say...
Also last sat down in person, because we also did a remote recording between
yeah, because we were sick and there was so much going on. This is the first episode where we have sat in front of our whip, as they call it, work in progress wall. And it looks so good.
I mean, it truly holds up well. This was a $79 wallpaper, which is,
cheap.
Right? Because I don't know, I'm not a production designer. I don't know what things cost.
Cheap. When people say wallpaper, I'm like, well, you can get the good stuff. You're going to be spending $500.
Yeah.
Or some cheaper stuff. But this looks really good.
Just making sure. Yeah, that's it. I was like, on the camera here, it looks like something was up there, but that's just part of the... That's not... Never mind. I ruined it. I was like,
it looks really good now. It's like, except for this one spot.
Yeah, no. But it looks, especially your corner. We obviously have to get some.
You were testing this frame, which is why I think it really pulls it together over here on this side. But we have a recording coming up soon where we're going to add to the wall. We're gonna put up.
We might have to talk a little bit about prints that we want to get. I found our old photos of the two of us, and I was thinking we could hide that somewhere. I mean,
this is from Uppsala.
Yeah.
We were in a museum for the King Mounds, and this is in Gotland, in Visby.
This looks like our wedding picture from a lesbian...
We look like we had a Renaissance wedding.
Yep.
And we are so gay for one another.
Yeah, but truly we were.
We were.
And Junie was 1 year old.
And
can't believe we did, I can't believe the amount of travel I did with Junie, and we were like, this is fine, Chris, this is fine.
Dude, I have a picture of you getting on the small plane to Visby, and you have like Uni on your hip.
Yeah.
And you're like on the staircase of the plane. I have to find that picture. You're just like looking back.
Because it looked like a private plane. It looked like
like a private. We were joking that you were getting on a private plane.
Yeah, and all the suites were like, can you get out of my way?
Yeah, can you please move?
That plane, phenomenal though. Like, it's like I wish air travel was more environmentally friendly, and like everything could be like that, because it was like taking a bus, but like
across the ocean. Yeah. And this is so funny, wearing our helmets and sitting on a wild boar.
It looks so good.
So funny.
Yeah, that Viking museum, we learned so much about that stuff. We learned that the Uppsala mounds, the mounds of Uppsala, have been there for like 2,000 years.
Yeah.
Which is always wild and crazy, because I'm like, I didn't care about any of this as a kid. Yeah. And then you find out now, I'm like, this is sacred ground, kids. Yeah. We need to.
They never exhumed them, I think. They've only done like
I
was gonna say sonogram, but like
I think they got plundered.
Oh, did they? Yeah.
And but like they've been shut since like the past 80 years.
So cool.
So what else is under there? Maybe it's a mystery waiting to be recorded.
Maybe there's a monster.
It's a monster.
Oh, nice.
Okay, a small recap, because it's been a while since.
It's been a while.
Yeah. So, last episode, do you remember anything? You went to Sigtuna, Sweden's oldest town.
I know that.
And you discovered like these two weird brothers.
Well, they came to me.
They came to you.
And they needed help. They're basically, the younger brother was getting married, but the family started to have a nightmare and were feeling weird about the wedding. They wanted help. Yeah. So Eliza agrees. She takes Olaf with her. They go to Sigtuna, the oldest town in Sweden. Yep. And a lot happens, a lot of different stuff. They sit through that like electricity. They talk to the family.
Yep.
They talk to the inn about the wedding that's happening. It's the mayor's daughter. And then things got weird.
You saw an intercourse happening.
I saw an intercourse. Well, no, they weren't.
They weren't fully.
They weren't yet.
No.
Clearly it was on the way.
Yeah.
And didn't interrupt, but saw Nicholas and what's her name? Eva?
Eva, yeah.
Eva.
Wow.
And Eliza saw another figure, like a dark figure in the woods, something weird.
Oh, yeah.
Eventually, things kind of come to a head, and Eliza felt like there was no other option but to like come forward about what's going on and kind of confront Nicholas.
Yep.
So she does.
Yeah.
And he pretty much like admits it and says that he's not trying to do anything bad.
No.
He loves Eva.
Yeah.
And he just wants to get married.
Yeah.
And they sort of strike a deal.
They strike a deal. He promises you that if he takes care of the dreams, you will not interfere in his wedding.
Then he added on this other thing about his performance, right? I remember that because I was like, "You little son of a bitch." Yeah. He was like, "And I'm gonna perform," and Eliza's like, "That fiddle made Olaf weird."
Yeah, exactly. Like people are weird around you, bro. Yeah, you are not sure where Nicholas falls on the whole spectrum of evil versus good. You just know that he is some sort of non-human thing, or maybe, like there are many theories here. He could also be like, he could also himself be cursed by the fiddle. It might be the fiddle that's the problem. But maybe we'll find out in this episode. But so far, Elias left the two of you. But you did not have any. You did not have any nightmares that night. So as far as you know, he was able to deal with it, which is a little strange because you came here to deal with the nightmares, and so if he could take care of it all along,
why am I here?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's a very good recap. I'm thinking if there's anything else that we might forget, but I don't think so.
I'll look at my notes.
Wonderful notes. So the next day you wake up well rested for once. And there's a feeling in the air when you walk down the inn for breakfast. There's a feeling in the air that there's like anticipation. It's the wedding day. Stress. A lot of stress. I don't mean to scare you because your wedding is coming up, but
I think I might know this feeling.
Yeah,
I might be.
I will say the wedding day stress is less stressful than the day before. The day before is the worst because that's when you have like, okay, last chance to get everything prepared. Then you're like, showtime.
Right. There's nothing else I can do.
Exactly.
Today's the day.
So now we just chill and do it. People are running in and out of the kitchen. There are a lot more guests that have arrived, so you feel a little crowded in the breakfast area, not as attended to as you were yesterday. Olaf is not there. He has left you a note.
Oh.
He says, "Went to the morning sermon. Assumed you weren't interested."
What?
You unchristian heathen. But meet me at the library after breakfast, he says in the note. Yeah.
Okay.
So you have your muffin.
Here's a muffin. And
Coffee.
some cafe.
I have my tea.
Oh, you're so healthy. And she flags down one of the waitstaff.
Yep. Is it the same? Is it the Ellinor? I listened to a recent, like we introduced.
That's who I talked to?
A stand-up comedian in Sigtuna.
Oh, right.
Who bombs every time. We have so many encounters with rude, weird, blonde cafe owners.
They all look so similar.
Yeah, it's like the Sherpas. It's a family.
Oh.
Anyway, yep. How can I help you? We're a little stressed, but sure. What do you want?
I can tell it's quite busy.
You want more coffee?
Oh, no, that's enough. That's enough.
Okay.
I spilled it on my hand a bit.
Yeah. Oh,
it's quite
sorry.
hot.
Here's a towel.
What time do the festivities begin?
That's a good question.
Is it an afternoon wedding?
It's I think we're supposed to be at church at 2 p.m. I think the pre-ceremony might be at 1, and I think the actual festivities will be here at 4 p.m. That's what I've been told. Not sure if we're going to follow schedule. Was there anything else?
No.
Okay.
Thank you, Ellinor.
You're welcome.
God damn.
Anyway.
All right. I don't want to bother her anymore.
Yeah, but so roughly afternoon wedding.
Okay.
I did not write it down.
Checking our time to make sure. Okay,
Yeah.
So she'll finish up her breakfast. I know perception check is not a thing, but could I do...
Vigilance?
Yeah, could I do...
Vigilance is perception in Vaesen. Observation is like to see if insight.
Oh, of a person specifically, probably. I'd like to do vigilance just to... Let me crack open my book.
I love that we don't play with computers. Except,
me too. Well, you need that. You got a lot going on. I want to just see if anybody is being weird. Mm-hmm. If anybody is showing cracks through, like, it's just stress.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. Vigilance. Oh, okay.
I love it.
No successes.
Everyone looks fine.
Yep. Yep.
In the inn, at least.
Okay.
I mean, or everyone looks not fine, but not fine in a weird way.
Yeah, nobody's like...
No, you don't see a weird creature looking at you with black eyes in the corner.
Don't know what I expected. All right, so she's going to finish up then and get out of their hair because she is getting stressed from this stressful environment.
Yeah, I feel like I'm like, okay,
we gotta get everything ready.
Okay,
where's the cake?
Exactly.
And she'll make her way to the library, kind of taking the long way, knowing that she has time probably before the summer or morning mass lets out.
Outside the inn, while you're on your way to the library, it's Eva's family. You run into them.
Oh,
they seem very proud and happy, and they see you. Good morning, Miss Andrews, says the mother.
Oh, good morning. I believe I wrote down your names, but I'm just trying to find it.
I forget that one too. We don't. It's not important. The mother of the bride.
Write that down. Nope, don't think I did.
What a morning it is. We were just telling Nicholas, and you see Nicholas is standing there too.
She kind of nods. Good morning to all. Is Eva here as well?
Oh no. You're not supposed to see the bride before the ceremony.
But of course. Did you sleep well?
We did. It appears that God has finally given us clarity.
Of course. She looks at Nicholas.
Nicholas smiles and looks at you back and is like, are you... no, he just smiles at you. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. She just stands there after they say that.
Yeah. Have you seen the blooms? It's blooming, and you notice then that all the sort of apple and fruit trees are in bloom, which slightly early for the season, but still makes it a very gorgeous display in all of Sigtuna.
Oh, how fortuitous. What a lovely sign.
Yes,
Day of the
all
wedding.
good signs. And the weather. The father and the mother is just like, oh, wow.
What about the sister?
The sisters are there as well. They seem
happy?
They seem happy. Everyone seems like whatever, you being here, you've taken care of it. Mm-hmm. And Nicholas insinuates that too.
Mm. I was going to walk by the church to meet my partner, Olaf.
Of course.
Are either of you heading that way?
Well, I'll walk with you, Nicholas says.
Okay. Excellent.
Miss Andrews, when you've walked a bit further,
she puts her arm out so they can properly do that thing. He leads her.
Miss Andrews, I must say our conversation yesterday was quite unusual. It's rare for me to meet one of your kind that understands me, if that makes sense.
I will take that as a compliment, but... And she kind of is quiet as they're walking. Nobody's really around. They're all like rushing around for the wedding. I can't say that I understand you.
Well, that makes me sad.
I only mean it in that you've told me that you're here and that you don't plan to do harm. But I guess I don't understand why I'm here.
Well, I understand. That's a lot of understanding.
We don't. We really understand each other.
When you told me about the vision you saw in the forest, I believe that was the warning I needed. I had not realized until then how much I had potentially angered the powers that be. It cleared my brain. It gave me clarity. It's like this fog was lifted. So again, I want to thank you. You might not understand it yet, what you've done for us, me and my brother, but we will forever be in gratitude to you. I'll make sure that you and your friend gets properly rewarded.
And she kind of just smiles and... apologies, but I feel as though I need to pry further. What is it, the powers that be? If you yourself are, we call invisibles, what lords over you?
There are certain things humans don't need to know. I think we should leave it at that, don't you think?
She turns away. I think I have a lot to learn.
Mm-hmm. Such as?
Such as when to trust, when to listen.
Speaking of trust, can I trust you to keep your end of the bargain?
She looks kind of serious. My end of the bargain, that I won't tell anyone.
Though you said that you would let me have Eva if I got rid of the dreams. And if she would go with me willingly.
Go where, Nicholas?
Go with me. To see the world. Surely you must understand you're a traveling thespian. You must know what it's like to want to explore, to not be chained by a place. You must understand where I'm coming from. I'm bringing the love of my life with me on our journey to explore, to see the world, unbound by any duty.
No, I do understand.
Besides, you promised me.
She kind of pulls her arm away a little bit. Again, I don't quite understand why you asked me here in the first place. You claim it was because Eva's family was having nightmares. Then you removed the nightmares yourself. Why do you need my approval?
It was my brother who insisted that we get outside help.
Does Elias know?
He knows what he needs to know. I asked you yesterday if you would keep my secret. Will you?
And she nods.
Thank you. Eliza, I mean it. I don't mean for any harm to come to any of these people in this town. You must believe me. But besides, whether you believe me or not, we did have an agreement. And I expect you to follow it.
And I expect you to follow it as well.
I will.
No tricks.
No tricks. No tricks.
She nods and looks up. The church is right there. And I will take my leave.
Very well. I'll see you at the wedding. And he walks away.
I don't.
You have a bad feeling. How about your roll observation?
Oh, now it's a perfect time. Okay. Wow. Can I... I have one more. Nope.
So one even.
Can I, do something? Can I, push?
Yes, you can push. You can take a mental condition, which gives you minuses on all the mental, for a while, mental, and that makes you angry, but you can get another roll.
Just one? Do I get to reroll everything, or I get to roll one die?
No, you get to roll everything, the entire...
I'll take angry.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's angry. She's like, I'm frustrated. 2 successes.
Yeah.
Tell me what I see, or I'm gonna hit something.
He briefly turns around and looks at you, and for a moment you see black, scaly skin.
What?
And then he smiles, looking genuinely happy.
What?
And then he turns around again. No one else seemed to have seen this. In fact, everyone seems to be like, oh God, he's so hot.
Eliza looks around.
Whereas you're like...
What is wrong with you?
Yeah, because you're like, even when he's not a scaly monster, he still is like way too skinny.
He's like a boy. He's like a skinny boy.
I have
You had that pic of him.
Yeah, when the porn pic.
Pic.
It's naked. He's naked here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not my type at all. He looks kind of like my friend's former boyfriend.
Oh boy.
Model. Swedish model. Hate them. Hate to love him, hate to hate him. Whatever. I don't know what the saying is. It's not that. Anyway, he walks away. That's what you see. You also have kind of... since you rolled 2.
Yeah. 2 successes. And I'm pissed.
Sense of doom.
Oh, fuck.
Not necessarily because of him. It's something in the air. Like everyone else seems as if they are under a spell, is the best way to put it.
Okay. She goes into the church.
Yep. Olaf, it will be one of those things. He is right coming out. So you accidentally bump into each other. Oh, there you are. How are you? Did you sleep better?
Come with me. And she just pulls him as they start walking towards the library, kind of hurriedly. I slept fine. No nightmares. How about you?
No nightmares.
Right.
In fact, okay, we don't.
Strange, isn't it?
Strange. Oh, right. But that's what he said he would do.
Of course. But why did we come out here in the first place?
That's a fair point. No.
Why ask us out here if he doesn't even need us? I spoke with Nicholas. I walked with him on the way to the church. It's same thing as before. That we made an agreement that I would let him have Eva. The language he's using to take her, to leave with her. When I pressed, he got mad, and she's just like walking almost faster than Olaf as he's keeping up. I have this sense, this horrible feeling. Everyone is acting so strange. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree.
The entire town wrapped up in the wedding just because it's one mayor's daughter.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. And Nicholas and Elias, it's just... They come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
His violin, what we saw in the woods, and I saw Nicholas turn into something.
So I wasn't sure you wanted to see this, but and he takes out his Bible. It's a weird Bible. You have not seen that. It's in a language that you don't even recognize.
What is this?
It's my most treasured possession. Please don't. If
She drops it in a puddle.
God damn it, Melissa. I got it from a friend. He looks weirdly guilty when he says that, but he doesn't say anything more. But you see, I found something in it, and he gives it to you, and it's like old paper. You're very like, ooh. And it also feels strange to hold this book in your hand.
Yeah. Doesn't feel like a Bible.
I'm gonna text you this because I want you to read it in your sexy Eliza voice.
Here I go.
Here I go.
Here I go again on my own. Okay. She flips it open. It's like crinkly parchment page. And lo, from the depths of the blackened waters rose a spirit, veiled in mist and sorrow, whom the Lord cast not, for it was sent by the hand of the deceiver to tempt the hearts of men. It whispered like the river's breath, sweet, beguiling, yet its voice was the echo of the serpent's will, and whosoever drank of its promise was marked for ruin. What is this? I don't remember this from Genesis, or the New Testament, or the Old Testament.
He takes back the book. No, I know. But anyway, I think we should investigate this further in the library. That's where I was heading after breakfast.
What's the deceiver? What's the serpent's will?
You know. Don't make me say it.
The devil?
Yes.
She looks like... Okay. Well, you think he's a demon?
I don't think... I just want to make sure. I think all of these are spawns of Satan. You know this. You know this of me.
Right. I just didn't think it would literally be the devil.
It might not be. Let's go and investigate further.
Right. Well, lead the way of what you think would be a proper text from the library.
Well, we will have to investigate.
Let's investigate.
And do learning roles.
Freeze frame.
Yep. You are in the library.
Bing, bing.
Hello?
Nope, we don't need any help. Pardon me.
Yep. You are in the library.
We move along.
You are not necessarily short in time. You have a couple of hours, but
no, we're trying to.
Yeah. So yeah, you are gonna go into the restricted area. No, but like this is like not an occult library. This is a regular library. But you read, you start investigating. But how about you roll? How about we see how you roll in this? Learning or investigation, I guess, would work.
Yeah.
But you have a -1 thanks to anger.
Let's do investigation. So for only 5 instead of 6. Yeah.
Oh my god!
That would have been so cool. Oh. No. 2 successes, but she is angry. She's like a little bit irate.
Yeah.
Mumbling to herself, and if Olaf like interjects, because she's looking, he's looking at religious texts, she's looking at like theology.
Yeah.
And if he says anything, she's like, "Would you let me do it? Would you just let me do it? I can do it." She's reaching for a book that she absolutely cannot reach, and just pissed.
All right. I will be sitting over here.
Thank you.
I'll let you know if I find anything.
And with 2 successes, the right book falls and hits her on the head.
Yes.
And opens to the page of the information she needs.
I love that. Exactly what happens. You have been investigating for a while, and finally you start seeing these. You see a text from Carl Linnaeus, one of the founders of Castle Egerkrans.
What the?
Carl?
What the hell?
He's talking about a man. Okay. It's basically a diary, and it says, "I'm sitting in a meadow, a cup of liqueur in my hand." Liqueur, you know?
Liqueur.
Writing about a strange encounter. The people of Tornio complained about a pestilence killing the cattle as they were put out of pasture after the winter. This meadow is where they graze, not far from the river. I managed to identify the cause of their death. Vast quantities of Cicuttaria aquatica grow in this place. I assume that's poisonous. A poisonous water flower. Good. You don't know. I don't know. In this game it is. I asked myself aloud why this plant was so abundant, and was answered by a sound of a violin. There was a man perched on a rock in the stream. He had the eyes of a goat with black horn on his forehead. As I approached the man, he dove into the water, but the tune of his violin lingered in the air, and new sprouts of Cicuttaria sprung up all over the bank. So that's a strange, there's a lot of folk tales. You don't even know where to, this, everyone's talking about, the nude man in the stream luring children and women and drown them. That's the general folklore story that you've also heard in the back of your head. You're like, I really thought that was just a folk tale.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like you and I would be like, wait, fairies? and then
right.
there would be an actual fairy city like Tinkerbell.
Yeah.
It's a little too on the nose, but you're like, okay, is that what it is? You read up more about the neck is what it's called. The neck. Neck. It means naked in Swedish.
The neck. Okay.
And then you find a poem by Brother Fabian, where by the marriages boometh the bittern, Neckar, the neck, Neckar the soulless one sits with his githern, sits inconsolable, friendless and foeless, waiting his destiny, Neckar the soulless.
What is his destiny?
Destiny? So there's a lot of things. Nothing confirms that he's supposed to be the devil or sent by Satan. That's from Olaf's weird fucking book. And there's a lot of entries and stories, you would say, describing a very lonely man playing a violin.
Huh. Okay, so she tells Olaf, I mean, they compare texts and stuff. I don't understand. If all that he is, if he's an invisible and he wants someone because he's lonely, I suppose I don't see any harm in that. But then the oddities of the cattle dying and the cicotaria, does he create that? And the goat. The goat turns into a black goat with horns. To me, that's more
devil.
Well, yeah, aligned at least with what your book said. But the soulless, she's like rubbing her eyes. The soulless, something about destiny. I feel like we're missing something. What do you think, Olaf?
I think I don't want to believe this, but I believe he's evil. I believe they all are.
Well, right.
But I am gonna follow your lead on this.
Well,
we need to get ready soon, though.
I don't think we can allow the wedding to go through.
And he almost smiles a little bit as if, really? How are you going to stop it?
I don't know.
I suppose we could talk to the brother. Maybe he will have some more information. He didn't... I mean, he's been with him for such a long time, and he would know. Also, how are they brothers?
That is something that I'm wondering. I don't believe Elias knows.
Right.
And perhaps he's under some sort of manipulation. I think you're right. I think perhaps we should talk to him.
And the girl. Figure out if she is under a spell.
That part I think will be harder.
Yeah.
Elias first.
All right. Let's go and find Elias before the wedding.
Yeah.
Because it's almost soon to get ready.
Yeah, I think
we should jump.
We find Elias and then we'll get ready for the wedding after. I simply have to change my dress.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go to find my adventure that I lost immediately. Let's see here.
You're telling me you lost the mountain sagas? What the?
When you leave the library, you see, funnily enough, you see Elias, but in the distance, he's talking to someone, and then you see that he's talking to Johan Westrom, the guy in the wheelchair.
Oh, yeah, the scientist.
Yeah.
I love him.
They seem to be arguing about something.
Ooh.
You can't really make out what it is, obviously, because it's in the distance, but Elias seems particularly angry.
I want to sneak over there.
You want to sneak? All right, roll stealth.
Okay. Ooh, yeah, nothing. That's one of my lowest ones.
You get closer, but you immediately get distracted by horse carriages so you can't really see anything. And when the disturbance clears up, you see the two of them, but Johan is actually getting into a horse carriage. And Elias just stalks away. And the horse carriage comes over next to you and then stops.
Oh.
And Johan peeks out from the window. Miss Andrews, so good to see you again.
Hello, Johan. Shocked you remembered me.
Oh, of course I remember you. I'm one of your biggest fans.
And she puts out her hand and they,
Unfortunately, I have a personal emergency, so I can't stay for the wedding.
No, you're going to miss it.
I am. Unfortunately, I have to. I hope I shall see you soon, though. Perhaps I can call upon you when I am in Uppsala again. Castle Egerkrans was where you stay, right?
That is correct, and I wish that you would. I would gladly invite you over for dinner.
Thank you.
I do hope everything's all right.
It will be. It will be. Please forgive me again for leaving like this. I hope you understand.
No, of course. Do write when you are in Uppsala.
I will. Ta-ta!
Ta-ta! She really does like Johan. She thinks he's so smart and like would love to talk to him about electricity.
Yeah.
But she also like peripherally is just trying to see where he's going. So she ta-ta! And now she's gonna run after Elias to catch him.
You catch up to him. Oh, Miss Andrews, you should be getting ready for the wedding.
Of course.
Or unless you're wearing that, of course.
God, no. God, no. No. This is a petticoat. That's not right. Petticoats go under the dress. This is nothing. I wanted to catch you before you were off to, I presume, get ready.
Yes.
Could I talk to you as we walk back towards the inn?
Of course.
She takes his arm and is walking. I need to talk to you about Nicholas.
Of course. I trust that you had an understanding yesterday when you spoke.
Yes, in a way.
But the dreams are gone, so whatever you did seemed to have been working, and the wedding is on.
Of course.
He looks tense and angry, potentially still.
She looks angry too, because she is angry.
It's been a morning, hasn't it?
It certainly has. She gripped his arm tightly.
Yeah.
Yes, the nightmares have gone away, but that was not my doing.
Oh, really? Then
No.
why am okay? But perhaps they were just a natural disturbance.
No.
No.
You know as well as I do what the reason for them was.
Well, inform me.
Well, your brother.
My brother caused the nightmares.
He certainly took them away quite easily.
I know he's a special boy, but I don't think he has that type of... I know he can spellbound the women around here, but I don't think he has that type of power to meddle with nightmares. The reason why we brought you here is because we felt like you would have an understanding, a deeper understanding of the ongoings of the human mind. That's how at least Egerkrans was presented to me, that you were curious minds. I'm not a very superstitious man, but clearly your presence has calmed the nerves of the women.
You know, I found an interesting letter from one of the founders of Egerkrans. Don't know if you're aware, Egerkrans is quite old.
Oh, yes, quite. That castle must have been is it the 1500s, 1600s?
This founder, a brilliant man, from my understanding, happened upon Nicholas.
Nicholas? The founders of Egerkrans? That's 200 years ago.
Of course it is.
Ah. Listen, Eliza, Miss Andrews, I don't know what you're insinuating, but trust me that I will not engage with any of this type of conversation right now. I've heard the rumors. They're simply not true.
Has he shown you his true face? And she turns and pulls her arm down and looks at him.
True face.
His eyes.
His eyes?
His horns.
horns?
His black, scaly skin.
My God, woman, have you gone completely mad?
Do you not feel the impending doom that surrounds him and this town?
I do not. In fact, I feel the complete opposite. He's a good man. Are you insinuating some sort of dark magic?
That is something you said, not I.
Well, either you have gone completely mad from playing those roles on stage, you started to believe in your own fantasy. Should I call for help, perhaps?
No, I can walk alone from here.
Well, Miss Andrews, I don't want you to be angry with me, but I simply do not see the danger that you're describing. I called you here to help me with the dreams. Your presence seemed to have been enough to help us with the dreams. The wedding is on, and that's all I care about.
Of course.
Roll learning or investigation, or actually learning.
Oh, can I do investigation? Because I have a -1.
Okay.
I can do learning. I can do learning.
Okay.
Okay. Oh boy. Oh boy. 1 success.
As he walks away and you look at him with your anger, briefly you seem to remember an old news article that you found while you shuffled through the papers in the library that said, exciting developments afoot. Sigtuna opens its gates to progress. And then there was a photo of Elias and Eva's father, the mayor. And you didn't seem to think about that at the time. You're like, oh, right, so he's been here for a year and apparently he's friends with the mayor. But now you're like, hold on. Why is Elias so weirdly invested in this wedding?
The wedding, yeah.
Like, why does he care so much? Is it just the reputation of his brother? But now you realize, oh, hold on. And then you seem to remember reading about the power plant being built close to Sigtuna and that he is one of the investors. And that's probably why Johan was there too, to convince the population of to change, to sway the population to whatever, the politics around it. But that's all you remember right now. So you seem to have another angle to the motivation behind Elias.
Yeah. Sydney, the player's more confused, though, because it's like, if Nicholas is like a Vaesen or like a water thing or whatever, why would they want a power plant? It seems to go against what Vaesen, I feel like, usually are, where it's like, you've disturbed our home, our land. So, like, why would Nicholas be advocating for Elias to make, I don't know, something seems weird.
Perhaps you don't know who's playing who, and that's how it'll end.
Ooh,
this episode.
I feel played.
I feel played too.
I feel played like a freaking violin. Oh dang. Oh, I'm so curious.
I will leave you with one clue, is that not everything is as black and white in this season of Lost Mountain Saga, Man of River, whatever we're calling it.